So guys, welcome back to a new video series. In the previous video, we completed the Python basic room of Try Hack Me. So now in this video, I will proceed with the Jupyter 101 room. You can search for that room by the search button here. Type on Jupyter. You will find the Jupyter 101 room. So basically, Jupyter is you can say IDE or interpreter for Python language. That's why I'm making a video on this. I'm also going to solve this room for the first time. So first we will just join the room. And as I see, we don't need to connect via OpenVPN for now. So we'll just leave that. And there are two ways to use Jupyter for our users. One is Jupyter Notebook and another one is Jupyter Lab. For the lab one, you will need to use the command prompt in Windows if you are on Windows using the pip. And for Jupyter Notebook, you can go with Anaconda or directly install the Jupyter from the official website and use that. And for further how it looks, we will learn in this room. So let's get started. So this room basically focuses on how we use Python for data science. So it says that data science is a very broad, enormous topic that isn't easy to approach and much harder to master. This is true. You can just read about this and say that we can make a recommendation of content on Netflix and YouTube based upon your previous viewing history, fraud detection in banking, intrusion detection for cybersecurity, weather forecasting, metrics of a business sales performance, and route planning in a Google map. Basically, data science is what we use the previous data and calculate the outcome of upcoming time. Basically, prediction. So now you can just read this. Here is the Discord of the, I guess, creator of this room, that is Semantic. So just click on computer for task 1. So for task 2, it says what is Jupyter. So Jupyter is a web-based platform often used for data analytics. So in this we are going to see Jupyter Lab, not Notebook. The lab is accessible on browser itself. So it says I've created a pretty useful introductory post on my blog. If you want to read, you just go for the material here and for the main things. So just click on completed here. Then for task 3, we need to deploy the instance and login. So we'll just click on start machine. It will take 1 minute to do so. Now it says please wait 5 minutes for the instance to fully boot before trying to access it. If you cannot access it for 5 minutes, please terminate and redeploy. I guess we will have a machine on the half side of the browser. So now it says use the password try hack me, as it will ask for a login screen, and you are ready to go. For now we'll just click on completed and we will wait for the deployment. Just 30 seconds only. So now we will learn more. Enter the what is Jupyter directory and launch what is Jupyter IPYNB and have a read through. There is no question, but I detail some use cases of Jupyter and why someone might use over IDLEs such as PyCharm. So to show basically what is the difference between the PyCharm IDE, that is integrated development environment, and difference between using the Jupyter lab instance. We have the IP here, but how should we connect to it? First, deploy the instance by pressing the display icon on the right of this box. So I guess we need to connect to the OpenVPN for more. So we'll just head to our terminal. This is my first time in this room also. So we'll just head to our downloads where we have our access file. I'm sorry. ls. You can download your access file from the access section of Try Hack Me. I have my one here. So we'll do sudo openvpn followed by the file name. It will take few seconds, and now initialization sequence is completed. So I will just check for this what's in there. For now, I just clear it. Now I will just copy the URL. I will refresh the browser and paste the IP here. Let's see. Why it is showing bad gateway? I will be back in a second. For now, I will just pause this video. So I'm back. After a few minutes, I was just able to paste the IP here and get to the login screen. So we'll just write the password as try-hack-me. Don't save. We are still connected to the OpenVPN as we can't connect to the machine from try-hack-me without this. It will take few seconds or minutes for you to load up. So we are here and we will just read what is Jupyter, as it said what are the benefits over using an IDE. It's taking time for opening, I guess. So it says about the program, this cell, execute this cell, visualize the data instantly, modify the code if you need to execute exact. Secondly is documentation, sharing feature. Jupyter can do these things, be used with browser, directly interact with the operating system, such as installing packages, perform snippet of code, 40 languages using kernel. This is the main purpose why people use Jupyter Lab for programming. We'll just close this for now. Go to the home screen and we will just head to the next task. That is task 4. Let's learn more about Jupyter. Enter the what is Jupyter directory. We did that. So just click on completed. Now it's saying understanding how Jupyter Notebook runs. So navigate into the understanding Jupyter Notebook directory and launch it and read the annotations I have made to understand this. So I will just go there and understanding Jupyter Notebook, the IYPNB file, sorry, IPYNB file. You can just read this at if you want to print. In the previous video I already demonstrated. So we use print, whether single quotation or double quotation, both means the same in the Python language. That is the benefit. And hello world, the text between the quotations will be printed. Now for multi-cells, this cell was executed first using the run command here. Then this was secondly executed, that's why it is written IN to that is input. And furthermore, so now let's get back to our task. So it's asking what do cell act like. So the answer will be cell act like as an interpreter. Now what would be the in hash value of the first cell when it is ran for the first time, where hash would be numerical value. So if it is run for the first time, so it will be 1, and if it is the first cell of that page or the file. So now what keyboard shortcut can you press to execute a cell? That's the shift plus enter for Jupyter. Shift plus enter. That's in case of Jupyter Lab also and Jupyter Notebook also. So now it's asking if you was to execute the first cell again, what would the value of IN hash now become? So if we execute it again, it will become 2 and it will increase in ascending order from 1 to at how many times you execute this cell. So now we will proceed with the task 6. So now it's asking interacting with the file system. I'm sorry. So it says, as previously mentioned, throughout the walkthrough, Jupyter directly interacts with the operating system file system. So in this case, I have Jupyter to launch the within the CHM user's home directory, where you later log in to see for yourself, replacing IP address in the picture with that of your instance you have deployed, and username as THM and password as tryhackme port 22. So let's do so. We can use putty for graphical user interface, or we can use SSH by terminal. So I will just split the browser here, go for the terminal here. We will go for SSH minus LTHM with our IP, that is 10.10.28.72. Asking for authentication. So yes. Now for password, the password is tryhackme. The default port of SSH is 22, so nothing to worry about. It should be connected in a minute. For the time it's getting connected, I will just pause the video. So as I said, I will pause the video. It got connected. So we are back. So it says our ETH0 IP is this. That is our machine IP deployed on the tryhackme. And so we are inside the VM. So we just do ls, check what are the files we are provided with. So it says we then create a new file using the touch, in this case lookatme.txt. So we'll do as it says. We'll do touch lookatme.txt. We'll do ls again. So here is our file. Now it says returning back to the Jupyter instance in a web browser. We will have just created the file is visible within. So let's go here, go to our home screen, just close this. So now we have our txt here. We just open that and it will be a blank txt. I will just zoom in a little for you all. Sorry, I just clicked the home button. We'll just click on this again. Let's go back and it says we write hi mom. After saving it, we will get our output. So let's just do so. We will do hi subscribers. We will go to file and save. It's done. Now if we just do cat look at me, as you can see here, we got our text. So it proved that the Jupyter Notebook browser instance can directly interact with the operating system and do the changes we do it in the browser. So as you can see, Jupyter directly uses Linux user permission. So we will be able to read, write and modify the files that the user like us is running as, with the permissions we already have in that type of user. If you are admin, you will have all the user access. That's completed. We will just click on completed. Now it says handling data with Panda. Pandas. Pandas is a library which is used for dealing with CSV files and many databases. You can read about this in the intro to Panda directory. Here you can just go to a yourself and just look over. So now it's asking what are the two main types of data within Pandas. So as I have already dealt with this, so if the answer is series and data frames. Now what is the name of the Pandas function that read a CSV file? So for reading a CSV file, we use the function as read_CSV. Now it's asking name the panda function we would use if we only wanted to display the first few row. So for displaying the first few row, it's like our header, so it will be head, and for the last few row it will be tail. Now what function will give you a numerical count? So for that it's shape. So that was it for the panda section. We will just move to our task 8. So it says navigate to intro to Matplotlib. It is a graph creation package of Python. You can just have a look at it. So how do you display a plot? So we use the function plot, open braces and close braces. Now it's asking how do you label the x-axis on a plot? Do not add the bracket for this answer. So for the x-axis we use x label. If I'm not wrong, yes. And similarly for y-axis we use the y label. And how do you add a title? It's same, we will write title and it will do so for us. That's why Python is a very easy to understand and learning language as a beginner. Now what word would you use to change the color of the plot? For that we will use color. And how do you label the z-axis on a plot? As earlier, z label. So finally we completed this room, and I will proceed with the nmap, that is complete beginner room, in the further videos as I just stopped the videos there. So nothing to worry about. I will do a basic explanation. As I said, I will solve all the rooms as a beginner. So that's it in this video. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay safe and happy, and thank you.